Johnson, Cultural and Leadership Partner with Corporate Edge, Brisbane office. I was chatting with John Colbert just recently. He's a director of Corporate Edge and has had a lot of experience with organisations who are looking to transition to a new organisational culture. And I had a bit of an epiphany. I said, John, if the organisation is doing the right thing and they're hiring people based on their cultural fit, and they've been hiring them over a period of time, they've hired them on the old culture, which therefore would mean, wouldn't you have a large percentage of people within the organisation who are strongly aligned with the old culture? Isn't this going to exacerbate the challenge we have in transitioning to the new? He said, exactly. And he shared with me a wonderful analogy about climbing Mount Everest. The mission to climb Everest is made up of two teams. Team number one is Team Base Camp. Team number two is Team Summit. Team number one, Team Base Camp, they have worked tirelessly for a very long period of time to drag all the equipment required up the mountain. They could be halfway, they could be 3/4 of the way up the mountain. And they've built this world-class base camp. It even includes a helipad. One day, Team Summit, Team 2, arrive by helicopter. They jump out of the helicopter and they are ready to go to the summit. Come on, let's go. Come on, Team Base Camp, let's go to the summit. That's the mission, that's the vision. Come on, let's get on board. Let's go. Come on, team, what? Team Base Camp look at Team Summit and say, have you got any idea how hard we have worked to build this amazing base camp? We have sacrificed so much to get here. Our own personal blood, sweat and tears is in this. And now you want us to follow you? You want us to leave this all behind? Team Summit need to show a little humility, some understanding and appreciation of the amazing effort that Team Base Camp have contributed already. Team Base Camp also need to show some appreciation that Team Summit, they're good people and it's a worthwhile mission, and all they want to do is have us go towards the summit, towards the vision as one group together. I've found that in my experience with organisations who are going through cultural transition, that because you have the additional challenge of a lot of people closely aligned to the previous values and vision, it will actually separate the organisation into three clearly defined groups of people. I'll explain how this works. Group number one, this group will embrace the new values and the new vision. They need very little coaching, they just get it, and they're on board. Team number two, for want of a better term, I call this team the fence sitters. They get it too, but they're not on board, okay? So this team's gonna need some coaching to help them get from this point over to this point here. I'll explain what sort of coaching method we use very shortly. The last team here, I like to call this team the laggards. The members of this group of people they may never fully embrace the new vision, the new values, and therefore never fully get on board with the organisational culture. There's a fourth team I'd like to introduce, and this team is called the new recruits. I'll share with you something that I've observed that we need to be mindful of, that laggards are a very disruptive group. There's two main things that they will do. Thing number one, they will, whether they do it consciously or unconsciously or completely unknowingly, but they will try and recruit people within this group into their group. What they'll also do, and they may not even realise it, is that they will ostracise the people in the new recruit group who will align very closely with those who embrace the vision. We know this happens because during the same conversation with John, he explained to me of an experience he had dealing with an organisation a while ago who had tried to implement cultural change. And they found that the new recruits, their tenure with the company was very short, and the attrition rate of the new recruits was also very high. And what they put it down to was the fact that the laggards here didn't accept the new recruits, ostracised them, and they felt uncomfortable, and of course, they left. Let's have a look at what coaching technique we use to get everybody over to this position here or elsewhere. It's called the pain triangle. Our mission as leaders in this scenario is to get the people on board. You'll have a bunch of people who are perfectly happy with the status quo, and there'll be some people who will need to leave. How we do this is very simple. We simply inspire the people who are here in this scenario that the pain of staying, remaining with the status quo and with the current culture, the pain there is greater than the pain of getting on board. It's also greater than the pain of leaving. We need to inspire these people to make the choice to move from here to here. Those who choose to move from here to here, I believe we have a duty of care to our people to assist them with this transition as best as we possibly can. Over a period of time, if we apply this and we're diligent and consistent with our coaching, what will happen is this group will become dramatically larger. This group will become dramatically smaller. And this group will disappear altogether. I'm going to finish with a quote from an American author called Alvin Toffler. And he's such an expert in this particular field. His quote is, "The new illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and cannot write. It'll be those who can't learn, who can't unlearn, and then relearn." Thank you.